The most recent issue of Age of Republic took a break from focusing on just one character per issue, and this time gave us 3 stories about 4 characters. Mace Windu, Asajj Ventress, Captain Rex, and Jar Jar all got the spotlight in the Age of Republic special. The Mace Windu story by Ethan Sachs was first and was also my favorite. Before the time of the Phantom Menace, Mace allows himself to be captured by a group of young freedom fighters led by Gwatako the Grim. There's a cool scene where he rebuilds his broken lightsaber with the Force, and there's a flashback to the first time he built it with Huyang. I think it's worth noting that the crystal he collected at his gathering was the purple one. In Legends, there was a big to-do about his purple crystal because it was so rare. He has dreams about it and winds up getting it as a reward on a mission, but that's not the case anymore. He just collected a purple crystal on Ilum. Back in Age of Republic, he fights Gwatako the Grim, but one of the child soldiers shoots the warlord. When the Jedi arrive, Mace regrets that they were unable to save some of the younger freedom fighters from their prison sentence. These 10 pages were better than the entire Mace Windu miniseries for me. It gave us a look at the Jedi and how they operated before the prequels began. It showed us early signs of separatism and hinted that the Republic could have done more to stop it. That's what Mace is so bummed about. They stopped Gwatako after he started causing problems for the Republic. But if they had confronted him when he first started, I don't know, kidnapping children, maybe they could have done more. Come to think of it, that reminds me of the situation between the New Republic and the First Order. Mace also says that child soldiers belong in a school, not in a war, that they were taken when they were young and then indoctrinated by a warlord's hate. Again, that's the same as the First Order, but if you think about it, the Jedi are also pretty similar. Ahsoka is 14 when she's sent to be Anakin's Padawan in the Clone Wars. Younglings are normally taken when they are very young and then indoctrinated into the Jedi Order. Granted, Jedi indoctrination is about peace and not hate, but it's not all that far off. Just a lot to think about in that story. The next part was all about Asajj Ventress, written by Jody Houser, the normal writer for Age of Republic. Asajj picks up the bounty on Ahsoka during the Season 5 arc of the Clone Wars where she's on the run. While hunting, she comes across a thug that's trying to steal food from 2 sisters. Her immediate reaction is to not get involved, but after thinking about her own losses, she stops the thug. I wish Asajj got a full issue to herself. I think she's a really interesting character that didn't get enough screen time, but I'll take what we can get. I'm a big fan of any character that switches sides, and Asajj is an interesting case. She never fully comes back to the light side, and I feel like she was killed in Dark Disciple before she makes it all the way. This comic is another step on her journey, and we see how she's starting to let go of some of the anger she's held onto all her life. She grew up an orphan that experienced loss after loss. She always used to turn to anger and hate to deal with those losses, but now that she's accepted them, her history is leading her to do good and help others in need. It would have been interesting to see where she would have gone if she survived Dark Disciple, but she does give her life in the ultimate selfless act, sacrificing herself to save another. The final story is about Rex and Jar Jar Binks by Mark Guggenheim. The appearance of Clone Trooper Denal places this early in the Clone Wars on Minban. At this point in time, the planet resembles its appearance in the Legends book Splinter of the Mind's Eye, where it was more of a swamp, but war is already beginning to tear down the plant life to look like the muddy mess we see in Solo, a Star Wars story. The 501st are working with Jedi Master Lon Tick, and since the Mimbanese are a swamp people, Jar Jar Binks has come along to meet with them. Tick is killed in action, leaving Jar Jar in charge, but the clones reasonably look to Rex for guidance. He takes a page out of Anakin's book and attempts to finish the mission by himself while the rest of the Legion evacuates. Rex is eventually overwhelmed, but is saved by Jar Jar, who has taken up Lon Tick's lightsaber. He gets a few panels to shine before nearly killing himself, but the Senator and the clone take it upon themselves to finish their mission, and while we don't see it, they must have been successful. This was probably my least favorite Age of Republic comic so far. Not that the stories weren't good, I just prefer the way the previous issues have been able to really focus on one character for 20 to 30 pages. That said, I cannot and will not fault this special issue because the Age of Rebellion special is going to include a Biggs and Porkins team-up story, so thank goodness for that. The next Age of Republic issue will be out next month following Anakin, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Until then, let me know what you thought of this issue in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.